I'll mute
Hello,
myself.
everybody, and welcome to StriveScan and NJACAC's virtual education week. I am trying to share my screen, which is never my forte. Here we go. Okay, I'm Dana Lambert. I'm a school counselor in West Milford, New Jersey. I'm here to just do an introduction and pass you off to LIM. You are muted. Your microphones are off. The panelists can't see or hear you, but you can see and hear them. If you'd like to ask questions, you are to use the Q&A button. Our presenters will get to as many questions as they can. If we're running out of time, no worries. They will have your questions and they will have email contact for you and they will get to you. This is one of the last presentations for this evening, but there are presentations tomorrow and there are presentations Friday. And we encourage you to go to as many as you can. Check the schedule at www.njacac.org/virtual fair. This session is recorded. All of our sessions are recorded, so the recordings will be available. If you missed something that you wanted to go to, you can go back on and check. If you think this was a great presentation and you go to school and say, hey, LIM, got to check it out, you can send them to the recording. With that, I'm going to stop sharing, pop off into cyberspace, and leave you in the good hands of LIM. Bye.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm still trying to get used to virtual stuff as well. So thank you again for attending our presentation. I know this is not something that we're all used to. We're used to just having fairs in person. But first and foremost, let's just get started. So to introduce myself, my name is Scott Brown. I am an undergraduate freshman admissions counselor here at LIM College. I am born and raised in New York, Staten Island, the Forgotten Borough to be exact. And fun fact, I actually am a graduate of LIM College as well. So if you have any questions about, just being an alumni and where I've worked, feel free to, ask me as well. And then just before I hand it off to Johnny, if you are applying to LIM College, I know it's primarily tri-state or at least just Jersey. I do mainly North Jersey. So if you're in Essex, Passaic, Bergen, or Hudson counties, I would be your direct admissions counselor. If not, Kara Schilder, who could not unfortunately be with us today, she does the rest of New Jersey, so Sussex, Morris, and the rest of North Jersey, and then everything down. Sorry, my Siri watch just went off. And she also does Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Ohio as well. So, and I didn't get that. Oops. I would just like to introduce one of our current students here. He is a senior now. He's one of my favorite students. We love having him on campus. He works in our admissions office. I'm going to hand it over to Johnny to just give a brief bio about himself.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. So I am a senior here at the college. I'm studying marketing and I've been working in our admissions office since my freshman year. I've also been involved on campus as an orientation leader and a first-year experience mentor. I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey. And I also, fun fact, got to study abroad in Florence with LIM College. So I'm going to be here just like to answer any questions for you guys and hopefully help out and give you more of a student perspective.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny. And before we get into where our location is, if you have any questions, I mean, it's perfect that you have someone who graduated in 2014 and someone that's going to be graduating very soon. So you can have that dual experience of questions if you'd like. So the first question that we normally get is, where is LIM located? A lot of, if anyone's interested in fashion and stuff like that, our school is one of the top schools in New York City that pop up next to Parsons, FIT, and so on. Our campus is located in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, as you can see right here. I know it's a little bit small, but we zoomed in over here. We have 3 buildings, so it's not your traditional campus. It's pretty much more, our slogan is New York City is your city, is your campus. And like I said, we have 3 buildings across Midtown Manhattan. So our first building, which is my home, it's the townhouse, as you can see right here. Let me see if we can just enlarge this real quick. Actually, I can. Regardless, I mean, it is on 53rd Street in between Madison and 5th Avenue. So the townhouse building actually houses our admissions office. So if you ever wanted to pop in to see your admissions counselor while you're on campus or visiting, we're right there on the second floor. It also houses our marketing and finance and management department. So if you are going to be a marketing, management, or international business major, which we will get to on a later slide, then that's where pretty much all your professors, the chair, and everyone that would be housed there on the 5th floor. It also has our student financial services department. So all that good fun and money stuff that normally the parents want to know, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be assisting with college, hopefully, or at least advising you on where to take out loans or set up payment plans. Everything would be in the student financial services department. And it actually is, fun fact, a couple years ago, I do believe probably early 2000s, it was basically donned a New York City landmark. So if anyone knows what a New York City landmark is, it's pretty much just like, it's been there for so long, it's registered as a landmark. It's an awesome townhouse location, very Gothic looking, and it literally was someone's house. But it's so weird that you can like see it, and it's the only one that's like with an LIM flag in the front of it, and it's just surrounded by skyscrapers. So it looks out of place, but it's an awesome sight to see. Our other two buildings are 5th Avenue and our Maxwell Hall location. So it is basically in the shape of an L, which is the first letter of our acronym, right? So our 5th Avenue location is my favorite building. We only rent out the 7th floor here when we did expand about 10 years ago, and it is on the 7th floor. It houses our college marketing department. So if you're interested in possibly seeing stuff from like social media and so on, you can it'll be there, as well as our academic advising office, student affairs office, and our student registrar. So if you need a transcript or need to create your schedule or whatnot, it would be through there. Our last building is our Maxwell Hall location. So what this is pretty much our main campus. This is the one that looks like a building no matter what. This is basically where our library is. Our math and writing centers are there. So if you need free math or writing tutoring, as well as our bookstore. So if you're looking to buy books and not want to go, you can buy them online on our bookstore or can do it in person. There's also snacks in there. We do have a little lounge with a cafe in there, and so on. That's also where our arts and sciences department is, as well as, the math department, the writing department, like I said, with the math and writing center, as well as our career and internship services department, which pretty much, if you have any questions about internships, you would go there on the 8th floor. And then obviously we do have our dorm location, which we recently just moved for this semester. We used to be on the Upper East Side, and now we are located right there by the Empire State Building. We want to be closer to campus, as well as give students the option with this whole, pandemic era. We do have single room options now that we didn't have in the past. So what does our undergraduate class look like? So a reason why I chose LIM, and I'm sure Johnny can attest to this as well, is I chose LIM over a bunch of different schools because LIM gave me that one-on-one experience. It's a small school. It's about 1,400 undergraduate students. As you can see, our student faculty ratio is 9-1, and your average class size is about 16, never exceeding 20 students in a class. Now, I know things are a little bit different lately, but you will never have more than 20 students in a class. And for any Zoom classes that we now do as our hybrid virtual modality, you will never have any more than 25 students. So you still get that unique one-on-one experience. And your professors worked in the industry, from our business law professor, he was a lawyer, or our buying professor worked as a buyer in Saks Fifth Avenue, or another one worked in Macy's. So and some of the adjunct professors who are still working in the industry, they're working their normal job and then coming to teach you so they can give you that hands-on, like right now experience. So there's so much to learn outside of the book and outside of the classroom, and they're ready to show you that. So another popular question is what are our 6 majors? So our 6 majors do include fashion merchandising, which is our most popular one. That was actually my major. This major is a very broad one. If you ask me, there's multiple routes that you can go. A lot of our students who come in and ask, do you have fashion design? No, we don't. We are a business-oriented school with focusing on the fashion industry. But merchandising would probably be your major if you were looking to work with design teams or design your own clothes. The reason I say this is that one of the routes that you could go in our FM major is the product development route. So what this is, you'll take classes like textiles and design, and you'll work with, fabrics and fibers, learning the ins and out of all of those. You'll also take classes like product development, so you can learn, how does a product actually get made, right? It doesn't appear in the store. It literally, the designer, they will make, a sketch of it. Their design team will basically digitize that, because nothing is pretty much hand drawn as much anymore. A lot of things is through the computer, and you'll take a class with a program called CAD, which is computer aided design. We actually just recently changed it to like digital tools in design, that you work in Photoshop and Illustrator, and you're designing clothes in there, making spec sheets, making line sheets, to source certain costs and whatnot. And then you bring that down to the sample team. They create a sample, and that goes down to the merchandising team to present to the sales team to present to the buyers. So it's an awesome, I call it the fashion food chain, from how it gets from to the top all the way down to the bottom. The other route in the fashion merchandising major you can go is the buying and planning route. So if you want to be a buyer, which is one of our more popular interests, you would take that buying and planning route. Visual studies, formerly known as visual merchandising. This is pretty much if you want to go into store windows, store design, visual merchandising, interior design. It's a very creative major. This is actually a visual merchandising, a class under the visual studies major. You're going to be, if you have interest of maybe like designing the fixtures in the store, or just want to learn like the corporate side of it, like why are store windows and store setups like that? There's when I was here, they taught me that they always put in a department store, they always put the men's clothing on the right-hand side, because men are normally to walk through a door and automatically go to the right, and it's the closest to the exit because they want to be in and out. Unlike sometimes women, they like to at least like go around the store and, see certain departments. Marketing and management. Marketing is our second biggest major. We recently just opened an online program for that. It used to just be fashion merchandising that was fully online. Now marketing, which Johnny can also talk about too, because he is a marketing major. This is if you want to maybe go into social media, public relations, event planning, advertising, brand management, stuff like that. Management, if you want to be your own boss, if you want to own your own business. I know there's a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs out there. That would be perfect major for you. Same thing with international business, if you kind of want to maybe like work overseas, especially when we revamp our study abroad program. And then our newest major is our fashion media major, which is pretty much if you want to go into fashion journalism or something like that. So definitely look into that if you just have an interest in writing or magazine editing or photography. Fashion media would be for you as well. The first 4 bullets are actually BBA degrees, which stands for Bachelor's of Business Administration. International Business and Fashion Media are BS degrees. That means it's a Bachelor's of Science. And our fashion merchandising degree is also offered in a BPS, which is your Bachelor's of Professional Studies, which also just kind of like negates certain classes from the BBA program and replaces them with more professional development like classes. And as I mentioned, fashion merchandising and marketing are fully online for bachelor's degree, and fashion merchandising is offered in our 2-year degree if you were looking to just do an associate's degree. Now, something that's pretty awesome also is that we just recently, about 2 years ago, implemented minors. They used to be called concentrations. Now you can actually minor in something. So we don't have double major, but you can minor in any of the six majors that I mentioned before, as well as any of these other 15 bullets on the right-hand side. Our most popular ones, go from like event planning, sustainability, fashion styling, cosmetics and beauty, digital business. These are some of our more popular minors. So some of the questions that students that I, read their applications, or even my current students that, come in and pop in and say hi just to ask a couple of questions, they pretty much were like, hey, like, I'm interested in makeup, what should I take? I'll advise them, since I also double as an academic advisor as well, to take merchandising and possibly do beauty and cosmetics or fashion styling. Depends on what their ultimate career goal is. So you have that option to minor in any of these, which is awesome as well. So they would take over your elective credits under your specific major. Now, I'm going to hand this over to Johnny, but before I do that, one of our main questions is that, do I intern at LAM? A lot of schools only require one internship, if that. In order to graduate in LAM, you have to take 3. So, Johnny, can you just go in a little in depth about, your internship experience, how you got your internships, and what is required of incoming students in this internship program?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. So at LIM, I've actually done 4 internships. Well, I'm in the process of my 4th now. And I've done them all in kind of different fields, and I've actually gotten them through a bunch of different resources at the college. So the first one I had was actually through Simplicity, which if anyone has questions on, you can feel free to ask, but it's basically an LIM exclusive job posting site. So I got my first retail internship through that. And then I actually interned at an eyewear company doing public relations for them. And I got that through an alumni that I was able to meet at an on-campus event. And I had another one that I just found on LinkedIn, I believe. So another job posting site, which they teach you how to use in our career and internship services classes. And the internship that I have now, where I've been working since January, I also got through Simplicity.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny. And just to kind of piggyback off what Johnny just said, our program Simplicity, we actually recently it just changed its name. We are using a different program. It's called Handshake now, but it does double up. I mean, it's exactly the same thing as Johnny was saying. We do have our own job database that only LAM students can access to obtain, part-time jobs while they're on campus. If they want to work part-time in between classes, intern for their internship classes, as well as you have these amenities when you are an alumni. So if you are job searching after you graduate, you have that option to do so. And then that senior co-op that Johnny was talking about as well, he's going into it very soon. That's your entire senior semester. So when I was there, I was interning Monday through Thursday and going to class on Friday. So before you walk across that stage to get your diploma, you're also building a resume before you get that degree too. So you have at least 3, minimum 3, awesome, job opportunities right on your resume that you can just hand, to the people that are going to intern you. They're going to be very impressed by that resume already. And you're basically working full time before you graduate in your first semester. So that's awesome that they kind of just, pretty much prepare you. They put you through that, just so, you're not blindsided by what it is to work 40 hours a week in the industry. And then this is a very popular question that our parents always ask, right? How much is our school? So our tuition is about $27,935 with a mandatory $820 for fees. This is pretty much for the academic year. So you split this in half, that's how much it is per semester. 81% of our students do apply for FAFSA and get some sort of financial aid. And everyone that does apply, we do automatically consider them for an academic merit-based scholarship, which is annual and renewable every year as long as you stay above 12 credits and around a 3.0 GPA. So if you get a $10,000 scholarship per year from us, as long as you maintain a 3.0 and don't fall under 12 credits at any time during your 4 years or however long it takes, whether it could be 3, it could be 5, be 6 like me, you have that, you keep that scholarship for at least 4 years. The FAFSA is opening sometime this month. It is October now. I can't believe how fast this year went. And then March 1st is the priority deadline to get that in. So if there is anybody that is already applied or looking to apply, the most tedious part of anything in applying to school is filling out that FAFSA. So get that done as soon as possible when it does open in a couple weeks, just so that's off your plate. And then our final slide and pretty much our most important question and is basically, how do I apply to LIM? So we're not on Common App like some other colleges that you might be looking into. We do have our own online application, which I could send you guys the link if anything. This is basically, on www.limcollege.edu/apply, which I literally have right here. You would just go right here, apply, when you go to the LIM College website, and then, you would go through there, and then it's going to ask you for all of these. So once you fill out the online application, there's going to be something called short answer questions, which is our essay portion. It's kind of just to get to you, for us as counselors, to get to know you better on a personal level, just so we have an idea of who you are, since we are unable to, see your face now, have to pretty much see who you are through, a couple sentences, right? We do require all high school and college transcripts. I know most of you, or pretty much all of you, are either juniors, seniors in high school. I don't believe there is any aspiring transfer students here, but what an official document is that it's sent from your school. So you would send it from your guidance office, your school would send it to us, and that's what it is official. So if you upload yourself, it's unofficial. We still can make a decision off that. But if you do decide to enroll and matriculate at LIM, we will need an official copy with your graduation date on it to prove that you did graduate college. Because believe it or not, people do forge transcripts. We've come across a few fraudulent transcripts that people have sent in before, so don't do that. College transcripts also, if you taken a college credit in high school, you are eligible, can transfer in. So say if you took like statistics in a college level, for college credit in high school, that can transfer over. So if you do want to be considered for that, you'll have to send in the official college transcript as well, or if you're a transfer student. If you do decide to apply early action, which I'm going to pass it to Johnny in a second, because he was an early action student. I wasn't. I was a transfer student. What this is that you get a decision before Thanksgiving. So the early action deadline is November 15th. As long as you apply EA instead of RD for regular decision before November 15th, get all your materials in, we get you a decision like that following week. It's non-binding agreement, so it's unlike early decision. This is early action, so you don't have to commit to us when you fill out the early action application. You have plenty of time, since we are rolling admissions, to make that final decision. You don't have to make it right then and there when you get accepted. And if there is any international students here, these last three bullets would be for you. So, but if you do apply for early action, we do require an interview, or if you're applying regular decision and want to request an interview, you can do that as well. So Johnny, can you just kind of go into the early action application and, kind of like say, what are the benefits of that?
Yeah, for sure. So for me personally, it was really a no-brainer because from the time I was a junior in high school, I knew I wanted to go to LIM. And like you mentioned before, you have your decision, before the holidays. So it was awesome because the way I saw it was that, before I went on Christmas break, senior year of high school, I knew where I was going to college. And also, you kind of touched on it as well, but there's no real difference in the application process except the early action interview, which is super informal. So I would say if you can do it, definitely do it because it doesn't hurt to get a decision so early. And like you said, it's non-binding, which is great.
Thank you, Johnny. And like I said, I mean, if you are looking to apply early action, I will drop a little virtual inquiry card if you want to obtain information from us. I'll type that in the chat or email you guys after. If you register for this event, we will email you after. But something also cool, you can email the admissions at limcollege.edu for a fee waiver. But if you contact me, and I will leave my contact information as well. I'm more than happy to kind of discuss anything in private if you don't want to ask right now, but we will waive your fee for attending this program as well. So I'm going to open up the question and answer floor just for any questions for Johnny or myself about anything LIM, whether it's about our experience, whether it's about the application process, whether it's about obtaining internships. Feel free to flood us in the chat, and we are here for another 20 minutes. But once 8:40 comes, we'll start to close out the show. So feel free to ask any questions if you have any. Oops, I was muted. So we do have one question that just came in. Can you have two minors? Unfortunately, you can't declare two minors, but you do have enough elective space to take credits in a second minor if you'd like. If you want to, say, maybe major in marketing, but you want to minor in, like, say, entrepreneurship and styling, choose which one is better for you to take the majority of the class, say if it's styling, and then you can take entrepreneur-related classes for the rest of your minor electives as well. So good question. So study abroad. So we have a question about study abroad. Right now it's a little up in the air. Obviously, we don't want to send any students abroad right now, but our study abroad process, the way that you would apply for it, we do have a study abroad coordinator, kind of like how myself is, an admissions counselor, and you apply through me just to get into the college. You do have to apply for the study abroad program. So study abroad, you would basically fill out the application. You are required to do an interview with the study abroad coordinator because we want to make sure that we have our most interested students sent abroad and not just someone that wants a vacation to Italy or Paris or something like that. We want to make sure that you're utilizing that time to obtain as much knowledge and information about, whatever you want to study abroad and not just literally gallivant, Rome or something like that. So, it's an awesome process, and, it's something that I regret not doing. Johnny can talk a little about his experience in study abroad. He did Italy last summer, I believe, right, Johnny? If I'm not mistaken, and, I'll let Johnny just kind of just go over his experience there too.
Yeah, so I was there in Italy last summer. My program was kind of unique because I went with an LIM professor, but it honestly was really cool because we knew her a little better than, flying over there and meeting someone new. And it was 10 of us from LIM, so it was really nice. We all became really friendly, and we got to take an art history course. And the same course is taught at LIM, but it was really cool because, all of the content and all the material is about artworks in Italy. So the way I saw it was, why not go there and see the paintings in front of me than, on a computer screen in New York.
Awesome. Thanks, Johnny. And, Johnny, if you want to provide your email too, we can definitely provide that if you want to talk to any
Yeah, definitely.
students. Our next question, is boarding included in the price of the tuition? So no, it's not. So that 27,000 that I mentioned before is not in our tuition. So housing is extra. It's around 16,000 and change. So you're looking at, if we don't deduct scholarships, financial aid, or whatever, if you get none of that, which very rare, does like not anyone get any of that, you're looking at about close to $45,000. So it still is a lot cheaper than many private schools in the area, and a lot of our students do find off-campus housing, or if they are Jersey students like yourself, like Johnny, and like me from Staten Island, Johnny lived in the dorms for 2 years or 3 years, I believe, and then he's commuting for his final semester from Bergen County, and then I commuted the 3 years I was there. So yeah, that's pretty much that question. I hope that answers your question. But feel free, if you have any questions about housing, we can definitely go over that as well. Any other questions? Okay, so the waiver fee. So what you would just do, I'll remember your name, but one quick question. I know that you can't turn your mic on, but did you apply? Because if you did, I can waive it tonight. If you submitted your app, if not, let me go back to that slide real quick. If you just just email this email and just say like, hey, I attended the Strive Scan information for LIM College event. Feel free to just email that and we will waive your fee. They'll either forward it to Kara or myself and we'll waive your fee for you. And that goes for anyone here. If you attended this event, we will have, I see your names, in the participant list, we will waive your fee for you. Next question. Can you talk a little bit about one of your internships? So, Johnny, yours are more recent than mine. But before I hand it off to you, is there any specifics that you want to know about our internships or how we got them or just what we did? I'll go into a little bit about what I did. My first internship, I didn't have to do the first one because it came in with 60 credits. So if you come in with, I do believe it's over 30 credits, or if you have enough retail experience, you can opt out of the first one. So my second one was a PR and marketing internship, and my senior co-op at Barney's was PR as well, so for public relations. So I pretty much worked with different accounts to make sure that I actually worked. This was pretty awesome about what I did in mine. Our PR and event planning team at Barney's, when I was an intern there, I was in charge of samples to bring to celebrities so they would meet us at the store, and I met a couple of cool people. That was one of the awesome part, but yeah, there's Johnny, if you want to go into a little bit about yours, I know the industry has changed a little bit and Barney's is closed now, so mine is a little bit more irrelevant. Do you want to just talk about your most recent one that you were talking about before?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been interning with Blue Sky Communications since January. They're a boutique PR and marketing firm, and all of our clients are different, like beauty and skincare accounts. So I kind of help with day-to-day administrative stuff in the office. I also work with the team there and planning events, pre-COVID. And since we've been on lockdown in about March, April, I've been working virtually. So it has changed a little. I am still helping with like press outreach, and it's been really awesome being able to intern and get hands-on experience while we're in this turning point right now, because it's really cool that I get to put on my resume that while all this was happening, I was still, maintaining a corporate job and getting that experience.
Thank you, Johnny. All right, we don't have any new questions yet. So I will type to each and every one of you that have typed me a question, my contact information. If you want to text or email me or call me, one of the three, we implement all three. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, even after this concludes as well.
All right, so I don't want to cut anyone short, but it looks like they've answered most of your questions. I've done nothing but listen and learn, which is great because I have students certainly that have interest in everything you spoke about. So I am definitely better versed than I was a minute ago. Just some housekeeping. As you exit, you'll get a brief survey, about 4 questions. Remember, everything is recorded, so you can come back to this session. You can see other sessions. And remember that we are hosting sessions tomorrow and Friday as well. So thank you all for participating. Thank you, LIM, for a great presentation. I appreciated hearing from both of you. Like I said, I am definitely learned. So it's going to end rather abruptly once I hit end. So have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.